Back with Bobby and JJ Radio. We are helping all the startups here in the San Antonio metro area, starting with Geekdom, and then we moved over to the Lift Fund to figure out how they can actually get some money. So if you're a small business, micro business, or a startup, or even an idea, this is the show for you. If you missed any of it, you go to bobbyandjjradio.com. Be a fan of our show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you want to see these good-looking guys' faces, their YouTube videos will be out in about a week. We're going to shift gears to a really cool idea, something that the Trey Group commercial has been getting more and more involved with. We have Mr. Steven Quintanilla. He's a San Antonio native. Yeah, he went to Boston to go to MIT. And then
I remember we sat in class next to each other several times.
Definitely. I was the one copying off of his papers.
Now you're losing credibility as we're starting. And then he went to Austin, and he was involved with a startup there that actually received one of the Geekdom funds. Then he came back to San Antonio, and around 2013, the concept of SpaceCadet started. From a 3-day startup program that Geekdom had, and now SpaceCadet is in full force and it's incorporated, and we're Steven, with the help of all of us at Geekdom and the Trey Group, are trying to make this concept work because it's a true grassroots concept that's going to help everyone. Actually, I want to say, like at Keller Williams Realty, we have a win-win situation, but I think with SpaceCadet, it's a win-win-win. It's a try-win situation.
Yes.
So let's talk about SpaceCadet. I've been talking about you off last couple weeks actually. But let's talk about SpaceCadet and everything that it is.
Sure. So at SpaceCadet, we believe that entrepreneurship should be easier, and we look at entrepreneurship as a medium for innovation and progression. Right. So what we're working to do is remove one of the barriers to entries for people looking to start businesses, which is space. Right. And what we do is we've built a marketplace. We've got some software development backgrounds. We've got some commercial real estate backgrounds, some financial backgrounds, and we built a marketplace for short-term commercial real estate, which allows commercial landlords to offset their property expense by making it easy for them to rent their space on a short term. And for entrepreneurs, it provides a platform for them to get that first space or a stepping stone to go from no space to long-term brick and mortar space, so that they don't have to fully commit and take as large of a risk.
So let's talk about, first of all, for lack of better terms, you guys are like the Airbnb of commercial real estate.
That's what we're going for, yes.
Yeah. But let's talk about the first win. So we're talking about the person with a concept or an idea.
Sure.
Right? One of the biggest challenges they have, besides getting the Lift Fund money, is like the guy that I met at your joint that does kale. Right, he needs some space there, like to actually.
So in that case, so at the warehouse you're talking about, that's been it's one of our flagship examples here in San Antonio. Sure. And when we talk about the win-win-win scenario, there's the landlords that benefit, there's the entrepreneurs that benefit, and then there's the community that benefits from these developments that take place.
So let's talk about that flagship space, because me and my wife went out there to meet you. I didn't know what to expect. We had talked to you. And I feel like someone has to see it. But so there was this abandoned, lack of better words, abandoned warehouse.
It was 16,000 square feet of abandoned space. There was one business in there, which was the kale farm. The rest of it was empty. Yeah, and the landlord was pretty much just, lack of better terms, probably just not using or bleeding tax money for the most part. It was a loss, and he had it vacant. He's pretty forward thinking. He's been involved with some other tech companies here, a hometown favorite as well. And he gave us some flexibility and said he's willing to give it a go, run an experiment with us. Right. And we were able to put some other individuals in there who used the space to start up some ideas.
And this is on the east side of town.
Yeah, it's on the east side in District 2. So something that not only would you...
Where exactly is it at?
503 Chestnut.
Yeah, so it's Cherry Street. It's pretty much where... It's past where it's grown already. It's in the area of town that is coming up, but far from being where it should be. Yeah. And so the third win is the community, right? Because what happens is the landlord that had a stagnant property that wasn't making any money now has how many tenants in that one space?
I'm not sure the exact number. I want to say it's probably between 8 and 10. But the property started off as being a loss. We helped them get it to where it was paying for itself in terms of the property expenses. Right. And they used our system to generate demand, which then allowed them to turn that property into a revenue generating, a profit generating.
So instead of losing money or breaking even, now they're making money.
Yeah, 3 phases.
What are some of the businesses that are in this huge 16,000 square foot abandoned factory?
There's all kinds of businesses in there. There's individuals who are storing classic cars and fixing them up to export them overseas. We've had an individual in there who would store and maintain other classic cars. We've got a food distribution business in there. There's an individual doing woodworking. We've got a co-working space in there. That's one of our success stories that we talk about as well. Sure. And then there have been other individuals raising crickets, rock climbing walls. Photo studio. It's amazing to see what people will do when you give them the chance.
Can you tell us what are some of the future ideas that you guys have at SpaceCadet?
So one of the things we're looking at with SpaceCadet right now is, when we built this iteration of the site, we released it a few months ago, and our core functionality right now that's there is you can list properties, you can browse properties, you can reserve and pay for those properties, you can get paid for those properties, and you can communicate directly about those properties. Now that we've automated some of that process, we're looking to iterate our site right now, which we're currently building our beta version, which will have some of the other components necessary for a marketplace to succeed, right? Like ratings and reviews, right? The ability for people to bid on spaces, right? So it makes it a little easier so that you can get a true market price for your space.
But the vision, I think, is going to be like being the Airbnb of forgotten commercial real estate, right? Like you're actually going to fill a need. You're going to be the liaison between the need and the landlord.
So yes, the vision for us is to be that platform, right? Where small businesses needing actual space can come, try their idea cheaper, try their idea for less risk, grow their idea.
Because this is a month to month, right?
Month to month at the longest, which is where the wins come in for the landlords as well.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in the right when we come back from a quick break. If you want some more information about this, you need to contact Steven Quintanilla at hello@spacecadet.io and check out everything about SpaceCadet at www.spacecadet.io. Be right back.